Sell products and services to the American government. Chapter 1. Selling to the government. Selling to the government/getting government contracts. If you have some skill, you might try to bid for a government contract to do some work. Hire yourself out as either a small business owner, it's easy to get a local business license, or as an independent contractor. Most departments within both the federal and state governments have procurement offices that buy the things they need to run the government, and many of these publish guideline procedures for purchasing products. If you're an entrepreneur who's interested in selling products to the government, your task is to find these procurement offices, get their procurement guidelines, then proceed from there. The General Services Administration is the major buyer for all manner of things for the federal government, from pencils to engines. Contact the headquarters in Washington or the regional office nearest you for more information. Get the free book Doing Business with the GSA, then simply send letters to some of the federal departments and the state procurement offices listed below asking for information about their procurement procedures. Don't necessarily think you're too small to sell to them. Implicit in their policy is to give contracts to small business owners, women, and minorities. Contact the SBA for further assistance in this matter, particularly the small business development centers that offer free expert advice. Many procurement offices usually have quotas regarding buying products from both minorities and women. The government is a multi-billion-dollar market for every kind of conceivable product or service, and most of it is done under contract by private organizations and often by individuals. The government contracts out most of this work to private industry, which means there is no set standard. Each agency has a large degree of freedom in organizing itself internally and the allocation of necessary functions. Each agency does so according to the needs of its own missions, size, and problem. It is a market open to all, from freelancers to large corporations. Contracts by government agencies can range widely from hundreds of dollars to hundreds of thousands and even millions. Obviously, the large contracts are not for the small business, but if you start small and gain the trust of certain bureaucrats, they will give you the contracts. In many cases, the smaller jobs are set aside for small businesses, and the large organizations are thus barred legally from competing for them. Some contracts are won via competitive procurements through submitting the winning proposals, others are awarded under authority of the Small Purchase Act. This permits agencies to use purchase orders, rather than formal contract, in an accelerated and simplified procedure, with limited competition, even without competition, in many cases for purchases under $25,000. How the government buys and how to sell to the government are different subjects, but you should understand the basic system. By law, all public purchasing for federal, state and local government agencies is open competition. Therefore, although there are certain exceptions, contracts are aware as a result of sealed bids, awards to the low bidders, and competitive proposals, awards to those submitting the best proposals. The federal government announces its needs and calls for bids and proposals in a daily publication called the Commerce Business Daily, published by the U.S. Department of Commerce and printed by the Government Printing Office, cbdnet.gpo.gov. State and local government announce their invitations in the classified advertising columns of daily newspapers under the head Bids and Proposals. The announcement tells you how to send for or pick up the solicitation package that will furnish all the forms and details necessary to prepare and submit your bid or proposal. However, all procurement offices want you to register with them by completing their bidders' application forms, which will put your name on bidder lists so that you will receive many solicitations without specific request for them. The federal government has thousands of contracting offices. 130,000 federal employees work in purchasing and procurement functions, all over the country. State governments do most of their purchasing via a central purchasing and supply organization in the state capital, while local government have purchasing officials in county seats, town halls, and city halls. You should register, file the bidder's application form, with every federal, state and local government agency with whom you expect to do business. Getting on a maximum number of bidders lists helps in this case. It enables you to survey and choose from the maximum number of bidding opportunities. Make personal calls on these people and leave business cards, brochures, and capability statements, describing your background, qualifications, experience, and available resources, i.e., equipment, help, other factors that reflect the kind and volume of work you can handle, how fast you can respond and turn a job around, and other relevant factors. Government is not a single market. It is a whole population of markets. Not only are there hundreds of agencies, departments, commissions, administrations and other organizations, but in many of these entities there are multiple markets. Although you should make all efforts to learn the official procurement regulations in general, it is also necessary to understand that each agency has its own policies. Although the law permits the agency to spend up to $25,000 via government purchase order, the agency's contracting officer or other top official may restrict that to some lesser amount as the maximum that can be spent without a formal contract. The government has offices and contracts everywhere. In many cases you never meet face-to-face with the customer, even in a long-term contractual relationship. The most basic tool of marketing to the federal government is the government's own daily publication, the Commerce Business Daily, cbdnet.gpo.gov. It can be ordered from Government Printing Office, Washington, D.C. 20402. cbdnet.gpo.gov. 6-month trail subscriptions and regular annual subscriptions. This publication lists hundreds and hundreds of government needs every day. Write also to the contracting officer or public information office of each major agency and request information about their procurement policies and practices. Many will then send you thick envelopes of literature explaining the systems in detail. Start with local offices of the Small Business Administration, SBA, Department of Commerce, DOC, or General Services Administration, GSA. Be sure to visit any GSA Business Service Center near you or write the GSA in Denver, Colorado, a major federal center. For government offices near you, check the telephone directory under Government, Federal. State and local government advertise their requirements in the daily newspaper classified columns under Bids and Proposals. Be sure to keep an eye on those and visit procurement offices in your state capital, county seat, and city or town hall. Government procurement websites / government contract websites. If you want a government contract, enter your name into the Procurement Automated Source System / PASS, sba.gov / answerdesk.html. fpds.gov. fbo.gov, Federal Business Opportunities. sba.gov / gc. fedbizopps.gov, the Single Government Point of Entry, GPE, for federal government procurement opportunities over $25,000. ccr.gov, contract with the U.S. government, sell them your products. govcon.com, resources for the government contracting industry. federalstate-local-bids.com. govcb.com. bidznc.com. fcw.com/webcast/list/vendor-webcast-list.aspx. dms.myflorida.com/business_operations/state_contracts_vendor-information/state_contracts_and_price_lists. sba.gov/expand/government-contracting, sell to the government. epls.gov/excluded parties list system, contractors banned by the federal government. epls.arnet.gov/, federal excluded parties list system, contractors banned from doing work for the federal government. pro-net.sba.gov, procurement, marketing, and access network. govcon.com, digital marketplace for government contracting. governmentcontractors.org. fedvendor.com. cbdnet.gpo.gov/search1.html, Commerce Business Daily, notices of proposed government procurement actions, contract awards, sales of government property and other procurement information. mshpc.com, information from this law firm about government contracts. proposalwriter.com, info on writing proposals and getting government contracts. .busops.com, daily business opportunities from federal, state governments. sba.gov/businessop. fedbizopps.gov. fbo.gov, single government point of entry, GPE, for federal government procurement opportunities over $25,000. americanexpress.com/sif/cda/page/0,1641,6279,00.asp, bidding on federal government contracts. aptac-us.org, Procurement Technical Assistance Centers. aptac-us.org/new/government_contracting/training.php. b2gmarket.com. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/government-to-business. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/business-to-government, marketing products and services to government agencies through integrated marketing. bidnet.com/resources. bidradar.com. bipsolutions.com. blackhawk.edu/bcd/bcd_government_procurement.htm. brightlinecompliance.com/training/government-procurement.html. btobonline.com/article.cms?article ID =278892. business.com/directory/management/operations_management/purchasing/government_procurement. business.com/directory/management/operations_management/purchasing/government_procurement/weblistings.asp. sba.gov/topics/government_contracting. sba.gov/topics/government_contracting/procurement_opportunities. sba.gov/topics/government_contracting/procurement_opportunities/index.html. by usa.gov/korea/en/selling-to-the-government.html. bwni.com/government_procure.html. cbdnet.gpo.gov, Commerce Business Daily is the government's list of all bids and contracts. ccr.dlsc.pla.mil/crinks/scripts/olizapi2.dll/crink.isapid.normal, target =search.text, Department of Defense. bta.mil, Business Transformation Agency, guide the transformation of business operations throughout the Department of Defense. ccr.gov, control contractors registration. chesterfieldbusiness.com/business/print_friendly.asp?ID =190, doing business with local, state, and federal government. chippewa-valley.org/br-directory/government-contracting.htm, selling to the federal government. colgovpro.org, the Coalition for Government Procurement. comstor.com/visitor/gov/government-ge.asp. cypress-contracting.com/fqas/government-contracting and procurement. developmentgateway.org. commerce.gov/osdbulletin. .busops.com, Department of Defense. empire.state.ny.us/small_growing_businesses/government_procurement.asp, 800 State New York, 800-782-8369. empowermentzone.com/sell2fed.text. epa.gov/epaams/business.htm. epa.gov/epp/pub/sell/selling.htm, selling environmental products to the federal government. epa.gov/optintr/epp/pub/sell/selling.htm, selling environmental products to the federal government. expo.gsa.gov. fedbizopps.gov. fedmarket.com. fedmarket.com/articles/intro-government-contracting.shtml fedworld.com fedworld.gov findrfp.com/procurement.aspx firstgov.gov/business/services.shtml folsompoint.com/company/bgovernment.html fpds.gsa.gov Federal Procurement Data System govcb.com govcommerce.net Federal Contracting govcon.com Government Procurement Consulting government.onvia.com governmentbids.com governmentcontractorsworld.com proposalwriter.com/small.html government contracting and other resources for small, minority and women-owned businesses governmentcontractsswan.com govinfo.library.unt.edu govtech.net/contracts government contract news grantsoopup.org/government_procurement_guide.asp gsa.gov gsa.gov/oed gsa.gov/oed/advise.htm gstrata.com/government house.gov Go to business opportunities with the federal government house.gov/procurement/procurement.shtml hijekfix.com/govprocure2.htm iie.com/publications/chapters_preview/3853/06 iie3853.pdf, Institute of International Economics irs.gov/opportunities/procurement/article/0, ID =1252444,00.html isquare.com/fhome18.cfm jsc.nasa.gov/bd2 kimcoweb.com/gsa/government-buyers.htm cutstownsbdc.org/government_procurement_resources.asp larda.org/lavox/article links/2003/0305112_bizgov.asp memphislibrary.org/ftsbc/procure.htm microsoft.com/small-business/resources/expert/strauss050406.msbx montgomerycounty.gov/lbztmpl.asp $/content/libraries/business/procurement.asp, how the GSA buys, what it buys, and where to look for federal business opportunities. mshpc.com Information from this law firm about government contracts. nhsbdc.org/article 8_government-procurement.htm nixonpeabody.com nwtsbdc.org/pac.htm, technical assistance to area businesses interested in contracting with federal, state, and local governments. Online wbc.gov, Government Contracting for Women. pcij.org/imag/latest/procurement2.html presstongates.com/practices/practice.asp procure.msfc.nasa.gov/fedproc/home.html/bd pro-net.sba.gov pro-net.sba.gov/pro-net/search.html publicforuminstitute.org/issues/homeland/procurement.htm sadbulletin.army.mil, sell to the military. sba.gov sba.gov/advo/law/archive/law_pro00.txt sba.gov/gc sba.gov/gc/womenowned.ppt sba.gov/hubzone, distressed communities sba.gov/sdb, small disadvantaged business sba.gov/women in business sba.gov/women in business/selling.html sbaonline.sba.gov sbdc.deltacollege.org/govcon.html, San Joaquin Delta College SBDC, Government Procurement. sbdc.osu.edu/pdfs/selling_gov.pdf. sbdcnetwork.uh.edu/faq4.htm. sbtdc.org/services/fed_government.asp. sbtdc.org/services/cell_fedgov.asp. cell2airforce.org. senate.gov/fedbucinasop.cfm. senate.gov/members/al/sessions/general/fedbucinasop.cfm. speakernetnews.com/post/snnmarketgov.html. spokenlibrary.org/research/subject-guides/govbus.asp. summitinsight.com/services.htm, if us government buys it, Summit Insight can help you sell it. swcoptac.org. tenagra.com/tenagra/aero_bd.html, aerospace procurement. uzaki.army.mil, Army Corps of Engineers. usaid.gov/dr/docs/resources. ushcc.com/governmentprocpublications.pdf. uwp.edu/departments/racine.sbdc/files/govprocurement.doc, federal government procurement information. vilaw.com, Vinson and Elkins LLP, represents clients on all aspects of federal, state and local government procurement and grant law. washingtontechnology.com/events/17218.html. web.utk.edu/announce/chapter 4 excerpt, procurement lobbying. womenbiz.gov. Government procurement resources. Many contracts are advertised in the government's Commerce Business Daily newspaper. Superintendent of Documents, U.S. Government Printing Office, Washington, D.C. 2040288-293-6498, access.gpo.gov/su_docs right cbdnet.gpo.gov. The GPO sells a book selling to the military. There's also e-commerce network, a government clearinghouse for quotes on contracts, 800-334-3414. Procurement automated. Source system. SBA. MS 6256. 409 3rd St. Southwest. Washington, D.C. 20416. 202-205-6460. sba.gov. pro-net.sba.gov. Get listed for free in this database so government bureaucrats looking for products might see your company listing. Automated Business Locator System. Minority Business Development Agency. 14th St. and Constitution Ave. NW. Number 5712. Department of Commerce. Washington, D.C. 20230. 202-482-5196. 202-482-2366. 202-377-1936. 202-377-3165. 202-377-2678. commerce.gov/resources/mbita_info. If you're a woman or minority, get listed in this database for free. Commerce Business Daily. Superintendent of Documents. Government Printing Office. Washington, D.C. 20402. 202-783-3238. cbdnet.gpo.gov. access.gpo.gov. govcon.com. This government daily regularly publishes listings of products the government needs. Government Printing Office. Superintendent of Documents. Washington, D.C. 20402. 202-783-3238. access.gpo.gov/su_docs. Useful publications. Doing business with the federal government. U.S. Government Purchasing and Sales Directory. GSA Supply Catalog. Guide to the preparation of offers for selling to the military. Armed Services Procurement Regulation Manual for Contract Pricing. Department of Defense Authorization Act. Guide for Systems Acquisitions. Small Business Subcontracting Directory. Selling to the military. Federal Procurement Regulations. Government Contract Principles. Guide for the submission of unsolicited proposals. Procurement Law. NASA Procurement Regulations. Navy Contracting Directives. Defense Acquisition Regulations. Code of Federal Regulations, Title 41, Public Contracts and Property Management. Federal Contract Compliance Manual, Enforcing Rules of Title 41. Federal Data Systems Division. General Services Administration. 7th and D. St. S.W. Number 5652. Washington, D.C. 20407. 202-401-1529. GSA.gov. Huge database summarizing the government's purchasing habits available for free. Check with your local congressman, House.gov, or senator, Senate.gov for access. Panoptic Enterprises. POB 11220. Burke, Virginia 22009-1220. 703-451-5953. blmcveigh@aol.com. Book Getting Started in Federal Contracting, mostly about doing construction work or manufacturing services for the federal government. Pass Hotline. 800-231-7277. Get listed in the Procurement Automated Source System for small businesses interested in selling to the government. Small and Disadvantaged Business Utilization Specialist. Defense Logistics Agency. Cameron STA. Alexandria, Virginia 22314. 202-274-7605. Will help you sell your products to the military. Contract Services Association. 1200 G. St. N.W. Number 750. Washington, D.C. 20005. 202-347-0600. General Info. Department of Transportation. Contracting Program. 800-532-1169. DOT.gov. Government Product News. Penton Publishing. 1100 Superior Avenue. Cleveland, Ohio 44114-2518. 216-696-7000. Fax 216-696-7658. Transportation Link Newsletter. Interracial Business Council. 51 Madison Avenue. Number 2212. NYC 10010. 800-326-7328. Newsletter about DOT's contracting program. Soft Share Government Info SVCs. 800-346-6703. Federal Procurement System. The Federal Procurement System is a database containing information on federal contracts for private services and goods ordered by the federal government. Only contracts in excess of $25,000 are recorded. Office of Federal Procurement Policy. New Executive Office Building. Number 9013. 725 17th St. Northwest. Washington, D.C. 20503. 202-395-3501. 202-401-1529. fpdc.gov. fpds.gsa.gov. Excluded from business with federal government. Technically known as the list of parties excluded from federal procurement and non-procurement programs, this is the database put together by the federal government which lists all the people and businesses banned from doing business with them, usually because of a track record of fraud in the past. Once on the list, they can't do further business with the federal government. 202-501-4873 202-501-4740 epls.arnett.gov. Free database. Chapter 2. The General Services Administration deals with government purchasing. General Services Administration. The federal government's purchasing agent for just about everything is the GSA, gsa.gov. Get the free booklet Doing Business with the GSA. The GSA also sell publications, some of which might be useful for your business. If you have a service business, you might get a contract with them for service, repair, maintenance, etc. You have to compete with others and show paperwork stating that you have a sound business. You fill out a typical bureaucratic form and specify which items you want to sell. Because there are so many different types of products, there are different offices handling each type, like furniture, automotive, computer, etc. After you get the booklet Doing Business with the GSA and learn the system via the following websites, you have to identify the office/center relevant to you and make your application directly through them. Many of these specialty offices have regional offices, so you have to contact the right regional specialty office. pub.fss.gsa.gov/vendor guide, gsa.gov/pbs, access.gpo.gov/sa_docs, arnett.gov, eps.arnett.gov/handbook, eps.gov, gpo.gov, fss.gsa.gov/cgi-bin/advantage!? 11. gsa.gov/forms, gsa.gov/far, sba.gov/regfair. General Services Administration. 18th and FSTS. NW. Washington, D.C. 20405. 888-633-4472. gsa.gov/OED. GSA Regional Offices. gsa.gov/regions. Washington, D.C. Area GSA. Small Business Center. 7th and DSTS. SW. Number 1050. Washington, D.C. 20407. 202-708-5804. Fax, 202-205-2872. ncr.gsa.gov. 10 Causeway St. 9th floor, Boston, MA 0222-1076. 617-565-7326. Fax, 617-565-8101. 800-755-1946. r1site.gsa.gov. CT, ME, MA, NH, RI, VT. Room 18 to 130. Box 10. 26 Federal Plaza. New York, New York 10278. 212-264-1234. Fax, 212-264-2760. 800-488-7253. r2.gsa.gov. New Jersey, New York, PR, 6. Wanamaker Building. 100 Penn Square. E. Number 808. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania 19107. 215-656-5525. Fax, 215-656-6404. tsd.r3.gsa.gov. TE, MD, VA, PA, WV. Peachtree Summit Building. 401 West Peachtree St. Number 2832. Atlanta, Georgia 30365-2550. 404-331-0972. Fax, 404-331-1813. 800-473-7836. gsa.gov/regions/4k, AL, FL, GA, KY, ME, NC, SC, TN. 230 South Dearborn St. Chicago, Illinois 60604. 312-353-5383. Fax 312-886-9893. Great Lakes/gsa.gov. IL, IN, ME, MN, O, WI. 1500 East Bannister Road. Number 1161. KC, Missouri 64131. 816-926-7203. Fax 816-823-1167. r6.gsa.gov. Iowa, KS, MS, NE. 819 Taylor St. Fort Worth, Texas 76102-6105. 817-978-3284. Fax 817-978-0440. 800-833-4317. gsa.gov/rg07gsw. AR, Law, NM, OK, TX. CO, Montana, ND, SDUT, WY. POG 25006. Denver Federal Center. Building 41, number 145. Denver, Colorado 80225-0506. 303-236-7408. Fax 303-236-7403. gsa.gov/rg08rm. AZ, CA, Guam, Hi, NV. 450 Golden Gate Avenue. 5th FL. San Francisco, California 94105. 415-744-5120. Fax 415-522-2705. 213-894-3210, LA, Office. 800-421-7848. gsa.gov/regions/r9. 400 15th STSW. Auburn, Washington 98001-6599. 253-931-7956. Fax 253-804-4887. northwest.gsa.gov. AK, ID, or WA. Chapter 3. SBA and State Government Procurement Offices. SBA Procurement Assistance Offices. Small Business Administration. 409 3rd St. Southwest. Mail Code 6250. Washington, D.C. 20416. 202-205-6460. Fax 202-205-7374. sba.gov. sba.gov/government-contracting/subcontracting-directory. Regional Offices. 26 Federal Plaza. Number 31-00. NYC 10278. 212-264-1452. Fax 212-264-4963. 201 Allendale Square. 475 Allendale Road. King of Prussia, Pennsylvania 19406. 610-962-3706. Fax 610-962-3743. 1375 Peachtree St. Northeast. 5th FL. Atlanta, GA 303,367. 404-347-4483. Fax 404-347-2956. 300 Riverside Plaza. Number 1975. Chicago, Illinois 60606. 353 5000. Fax 312 353 3426. 8625 King George Drive. Number C. Dallas, Texas 75235. 214 767 7639. Fax 214 767 7870. 71 Stevenson St. 20th FL. SF California 94105. 415 744 8715. Fax 415 744 6437. State Government Procurement Offices. Contact the relevant state office and ask for further information about selling your products to your state government. If writing, preface your letter with Procurement/Purchasing Office. Alabama Procurement Office. 11S. Union. Number 200. Montgomery, Alabama 36130. 205-242-7250. Alaska Procurement Office. POG 110210. Juneau, Alaska 99811. 907-465-2253. Arizona Procurement Office. Executive Tower. Number 101. 1700 W. Washington. Phoenix, Arizona 85007. 602-542-5511. TucsonAZ.gov/procure. Arkansas Procurement Office. POG 2940. Little Rock, Arkansas 72203. 501-324-9312. California Procurement Office. 1823 14th St. Sacramento, CA 9584. 916-445-6942. Colorado Procurement Office. 225 East 16th Avenue. Number 900. Denver, Colorado 80203. 303-866-6100. Connecticut Procurement Office. 460 Silver St. Middletown, Connecticut 06457. 203-638-3280. District of Columbia Procurement Office. 441 4th St. Northwest. Number 7544. Washington, D.C. 20001. 202-727-0171. Delaware Procurement Office. POG 299. Delaware City, Delaware 19706. 302-577-3070. Florida Procurement Office. 2737 Centerview Drive. 2nd FL. Tallahassee, Florida 32399. 904-488-1194. Georgia Procurement Office. 200 Piedmont Avenue. SE. Number 1308. Atlanta, Georgia 30334. 404-656-3240. giatec.edu/news/item.php?id =$327. gtpac.org. Hawaii Procurement Office. 1151 Punch Bowl. Number 416. Honolulu, Hawaii 96813. 808-586-0575. Idaho Procurement Office. 5569 Kendall. State House Mail. Boise, Idaho 83720. 208-327-7465. business.idaho.gov/default.aspx ? tab =518. Illinois Procurement Office. 801 Stratton Building. Springfield, Illinois 62706. 217-782-2301. cms.il.gov. Indiana Procurement Office. 402 West Washington St. Number W468. Indianapolis, Indiana 46204. 317-232-3032. Iowa Procurement Office. Hoover State Building. Des Moines, Iowa 50319. 515-281-3089. Kansas Procurement Office. 102 N Landon State Building. 900 Southwest Jackson St. Topeka, Kansas 66612. 913-296-2376. wecokck.org/gen-article_pages/article_2_procurement_p79.html, Unified Government of Wyandotte/Kansas City. Kentucky Procurement Office. 354 Capitol Annex. Frankfort, Kentucky 40601. 502-564-4510. thinkkentucky.com/kidc/proassist.asp. thinkkentucky.com/kidc/pdfs/survey.pdf. Louisiana Procurement Office. POB 94095. Baton Rouge, Louisiana 70804. 504-342-8010. nwlogpc.tripod.com, Northwest Louisiana Government Procurement Center. Maine Procurement Office. State House STA. Number 9. Augusta, Maine 04333. 207-289-3521. Maryland Procurement Office. 301 W. Preston. Number M2. Baltimore, Maryland 21201. 410-225-4620. Massachusetts Procurement Office. 1 Ashburton Place. Number 1017. Boston, Massachusetts 01208. 617-727-8081. Michigan Procurement Office. Mason Building. POB 30026. Lansing, Michigan 48909. 517-373-0330. Minnesota Procurement Office. 112 Administration Building. 50 Sherburne Avenue. St. Paul, Minnesota 55155. 612-296-6152. Mississippi Procurement Office. 1504 Sillers Building. Jackson, Mississippi 39201. 601-359-3409. Missouri Procurement Office. POB 809. Jefferson City, Missouri 65102. 314-751-3273. MissouriBusiness.net/training/jumpstart/selling_government1.asp. Montana Procurement Office. 165 Mitchell Building. Helena, Montana 59620. 406-444-2575. Nebraska Procurement Office. 301 Centennial Mall. POB 93847. Lincoln, Nebraska 68509. 402-471-2401. Nevada Procurement Office. 505 E. King. Number 400. King Ked Building. Carson City, Nevada 89710. 702-687-4070. New Hampshire Procurement Office. 25 Capitol SST. 102 State House Annex. Concord, New Hampshire 03301. 603-271-2201. sbdc.uh.edu. New Jersey Procurement Office. CN 230. Trenton, New Jersey 08625. 292-4700. New Mexico Procurement Office. 1100 Francis Drive. Number 2016 Montoya Building. Santa Fe, New Mexico 87503. 505-827-0472. New York Procurement Office. Empire State PLA. 38th FL. Albany, New York 12242. 518-474-3695. nyc.gov/get-certified. nyc.gov/html/sbs/New York cbis/selling_to_government/register.shtml. nyc.gov/html/sbs/New York cbis/downloads/pdf/selling_register.pdf. nyc.gov/html/sbs/New York cbis/html/selling_to_government/selling_to_government.shtml. ogs.state.ny.us/purchase. nilovesmalobet-business/selling_to_government.asp. North Carolina Procurement Office. 116 West Jones St. Raleigh, North Carolina 27603. 919-733-3581. sbtdc.org/services/gov_procurement.asp. ncommerce.com/servicecenter. North Dakota Procurement Office. 600 E Boulevard. Bismarck, North Dakota 58505. 701-224-2683. ndsbdc.org. Ohio Procurement Office. 4200 Surface Road. Columbus, Ohio 43228. 614-466-5090. odod.state.oh.us/dmbis/pdac.htm. odod.state.oh.us/dmbis/pdac-partners.htm. odod.state.oh.us. Oklahoma Procurement Office. Before State Capitol. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma 73105. 405-521-2110. Oregon Procurement Office. 1225 Ferry St. Salem, Oregon 97310. 503-378-4643. Pennsylvania Procurement Office. Number 414. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania 17125. 717-787-05295. Rhode Island Procurement Office. 1 Capitol Hill. Providence, Rhode Island 02908. 401-277-2317. riptac.com. ridec.com/ridec/business_services. South Carolina Procurement Office. 1201 Main St. Number 600. Columbia, South Carolina 29201. 803-737-0600. state.sc.us. South Dakota Procurement Office. 523 Capitol Avenue. Pierre, South Dakota 57501. 605-773-3405. Tennessee Procurement Office. C2-211 Central Services Building. Nashville, Tennessee 37219. 615-741-1035. Texas Procurement Office. POB 18047. Austin, Texas 78711. 512-463-3445. Utah Procurement Office. Number 350 State Office Building. Salt Lake City, Utah 84114. 801-538-3026. go.utah.gov/pdac. Vermont Procurement Office. 128 State St. Number 33. Montpelier, Vermont 05633. 802-828-2211. Virginia Procurement Office. epub 1199. Richmond, Virginia 23209. 804-786-3172. Washington Procurement Office. 216 GA Building. epub 41017. Olympia, Washington 98504. 206-753-6461. West Virginia Procurement Office. Number E102, Building 1. 1900 Kanawha Boulevard. E. Charleston, West Virginia 25305. 304-348-2309. Wisconsin Procurement Office. 101 E. Wilson. 6th FL. Madison, Wisconsin 53707. 608-266-2605. matcmadison.edu/bpac/events.hdm, Business Procurement Assistance Center. Wyoming Procurement Office. 2001 Capitol Avenue. Cheyenne, Wyoming 82002. 307-777-7253.